Hey guys, you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Alana Jordan, and tonight we are checking out the premiere of Pennyworth, DC's newest show coming to Epix. We're going to be talking to the cast, the crew, and we have a few special guests too, so be sure to stick around. Hi, we are here with Paloma Faith, and I have to be honest, I'm having a full-fledged fangirl moment because I love you. You have been my favorite singer for years. Okay. So what led you into this transition into acting and to bringing Bet Skies to life?
I always acted. I acted before music, and my music took off quicker than my acting career. But yeah, it doesn't feel new to me. It just feels new in the public.
Now, I will say, though, part of what I love about you so much is your personality and seeing you on all of the talk shows, and never mind the Buzzcocks and everything. You are the exact opposite of Bet Skies. You were just such a delight. Bet Sykes, sorry. Yeah. What was it like for you bringing this villain to life that is so different from your real personality?
It was really, I feel honoured. I think the writing by Bruno Heller was amazing and really well observed, and it was an interesting, exciting moment. I felt like somebody that I could really sink my teeth into, somebody very different to who I am, and enough of me to like be able to do it successfully. But yeah, I think I just feel really privileged.
And we were talking a little bit to Bruno, too, about the importance of female characters and female villains in particular. Did you feel kind of an extra weight on your shoulders or kind of an extra empowerment being able to represent such a dynamic female character?
It was like, when I read the character on the page, the first thing that struck me was how multi-dimensional she was. And I think when you look at kind of the history of comic book culture, a lot of female villains, the only superpower they have, or the only fear that we have of them, is as a male desire for them sexually. And it's almost like they're sort of turned into these villainesses because they're just women who are incredibly desirable that say no to your advances. And I think that women are much more like multi-dimensional than that, and multi-layered, and I feel like it was very important to me, but playing Bet Sykes, to bring that to the table, to write, to play a character that's modern. When I was a kid watching Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, I always used to go and play games about those movies afterwards, and I was always a superhero. Always. I was never going to be like a damsel in distress. I always was like, I'm Spider-Man, no, I'm Spider-Man, hitting boys and stuff. And I feel like that I've done that with Bet Sykes. I've spent the whole series hitting boys and being in love with women and scaring the shit out of everyone on set who's male.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. Now, before we go, one last question. Because you're so multi-dimensional as well as your character, are we going to see you sing at all? We saw a little teasing of you talking about the creepiest dancing lines ever delivered. But are you going to sing at all in the show?
No, Bet Sykes can't sing, and she's got no rhythm.
Good to know. I heard it here first. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Cannon and Bruno Heller, the director, writer, and co-executive producers of Pennyworth. Now, you guys are responsible for some phenomenal television. 15 seasons of CSI, Rome, The Mentalist. What is it like having this kind of flexibility now on Epix? You had a little bit of flexibility on HBO, but now having that limits of cable kind of taken away and having the freedom on Epix to bring this show to life. Was that something that you incorporated when you were pitching the show and when you were creating the show?
It's fabulous. It's like being able to run naked in the streets. Yeah, well, it kind of exactly that creatively. There's obviously boundaries, but they're not the strict boundaries that you have to kind of keep to on a network show. So you get to be more honest, a little more edgy, certainly more stark and strong. So yeah, for all those reasons, it's great fun.
Definitely stark if you're running naked in the streets,
yeah.
Right? Did you?
I mean, I'd like to think that at every network show I did, I was trying to think outside the box a little and trying to make a difference. And maybe that's why they were popular. But I think not having to do the act breaks, not having to be so strict about how long an episode can be and worrying about all those commercials in between is something I'm not going to miss. You know, the performances get better every time you give them more air and more room and more time to grow. So we didn't feel rushed and we didn't feel under pressure to make every moment dynamic. So the pace of this, it's like a very long 10-hour movie, and the pace of it is over the season. You could watch them all together and it's just as good as watching one episode.
So you guys obviously have a very strong working relationship too. Were you both together on set as well?
Yeah, I'm allowed on the set. I'm generally sitting in the video village drinking lots of coffee and falling asleep, because that's really what a writer's job is on the set. But Danny runs a lovely, warm, friendly set, so it was fun to be there, yeah.
No, when the writer is not on set, I miss them, because there's always a layer, something that didn't make it in, that when they see the rehearsal, when they see the performances, there's always something you can add, even if it's just subtext or even if it's just another little idea. So that's something that I think the writer is essential for.
I am so excited to see the creativity on this, because that collaboration, I think, is just going to bring this even more to life. What inspired you guys to really want to tell the story of Alfred Pennyworth?
There's the funny answer and there's the real answer. I won't tell you the funny answer. No. Got to be businesslike here. He's a great character that is inside this very well-known myth, but no one really knows more than what's been told in the past about him, which is very little. So you kind of have the name recognition with a character that you have great freedom with to tell a new and interesting story, an origin story.
Why was it important to you to incorporate a female villain in particular? Because we don't always see that as much, and seeing such dynamic performances from females, especially in a time right now, was that something that was intentional to make sure to incorporate?
I've never written a show without either a great female lead or, even better, a great female villain. Just it's natural. Why not?
Now, when Bruno wrote Fish Mooney in the Gotham pilot, that was a character that people swore was in the DC canon, and it wasn't. It was something he came up with. I think female villains, you've got to have the yin and the yang. You've got to have the two sides to everything in a drama. So why two guys fighting each other? It's much better. And Paloma's performance is exceptional. It's not a character who uses her sexuality at all. I mean, her power is the fact that she's completely independent of all of that. Doesn't even think that way. So good for her.
Well, I cannot wait for this series. Thank you guys so much for talking with us, and congratulations too. Thank you. We are here with Charlie Woodward, who plays Captain Curzon in the new Pennyworth series. So tell us a little bit about your character.
Well, he's in the army with Alfred, and you see a bit of a ruckus go on, I think you might say, at some point, and he might pop up later on. I'm not entirely sure how much I'm allowed to say, to be honest. Sorry, it's a terrible answer.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but was there anything in particular, without spoiling, that you were just super excited, that there was just a moment that you went, wow, I can't believe this is my life and that I'm doing this?
I think it was actually genuinely when I first walked on set, for my first scene actually. And it's just the amount of sort of detail that had gone into the sets, the production design, obviously the scripts, and all the camera crew was so friendly, and it was just sort of, I walked on and I really felt like I was in that world, which is something that I feel they've done throughout the whole series. The world is its own character. London is its own character, so yeah.
And the time period being in the 1960s.
It's the coolest, absolutely.
What was that like?
It was fantastic. It was, so it's sort of an alternate 60s London, so it had all the cool of, London Soho and, everyone in suits and the hair and all that stuff, but at the same time it was just yeah, it was just really cool. It's really cool. I just really enjoyed it. It's great.
And I know they threw in some little DC twists too to kind of keep you on your toes. But are there any DC characters that we should maybe keep a lookout for?
I don't know, and if I did, I'm not entirely sure I'd be allowed to tell you anyway. So.
Well, do you have any personal favorites that you would love to see maybe incorporated if the show goes on for many, many seasons later on down the road?
I'm trying to work out the timeline because obviously it's in the 60s and most of the Batman stuff takes place later on. But I guess I don't know who would be old enough. Is there like a really old villain in Batman? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't think. I don't think there are any old villains. Maybe Ra's al Ghul. Maybe.
Is there any superhero you would love to play? Your ideal superhero?
Well, I would have said Batman, but I think this is Spider-Man. But our boy Tom's got that. So yeah.
Crossing lines to Marvel on the red carpet for DC.
Sorry guys. Sorry Bruno. Sorry.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We have had a phenomenal time tonight talking to the cast and the crew of Pennyworth, coming to Epix on Sunday, July 28th. Be sure to check out the premiere and be sure to check out more from us at AfterBuzzTV.com. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud, and you can find more from me, Alana Jordan, on Twitter at Alana Jordan. We'll catch you guys next time. Buzz you later.